Many of us spend our lives chasing success, status, or external validation, only to feel unfulfilled despite our achievements. The irony, the key to finding your true life purpose, might be hidden in the one place you're afraid to look, your dark side. According to Carl Jung's philosophy, the shadow, the part of ourselves we deny or repress, holds the answers to our deepest questions. It sounds counterintuitive, right? How could something as negative as the dark side help us grow? Here's the truth. Until you face the parts of yourself you've kept hidden, you'll never fully understand who you are or what you're meant to do in life. Jungian psychology offers a powerful path of self-discovery that most people overlook. Shadow work. By embracing your inner shadow, you'll not only experience personal growth, but also unlock your true potential. Want to know how? Keep reading, because the steps ahead could change your life in ways you never imagined. For Carl Jung, the purpose of life isn't found in the external achievements we often chase after. It resides in the internal journey, the quest for self-discovery and understanding. Jung believed that life's meaning isn't about success, wealth, or power, but rather in uncovering the deepest layers of oneself. Life's true essence is revealed through personal growth, even when it means facing failure. Imagine someone constantly striving for recognition, but feeling empty inside. What Jung would suggest is simple. Stop chasing validation from the world and look inward instead. When you dig deeper, you might discover repressed desires or forgotten dreams. The truth is, these internal revelations guide you toward your life's purpose. Something far more rewarding than external accolades. But here's the twist. This process isn't about staying comfortable. It involves confronting our flaws, insecurities, and past mistakes. Only when you dare to explore your unconscious mind and your shadow self do you begin to walk the path of true psychological growth. But how do you even start that? Well, stay tuned, because the next step involves meeting a key player in this journey. The shadow, in Jungian philosophy, the human psyche is divided between the conscious, ego, and the unconscious, shadow. The ego is who you think you are, your everyday self, but the shadow is what you hide or deny. Integrating these two aspects is crucial for personal growth. The ego cannot fully grasp the purpose of life on its own. It needs to acknowledge the hidden parts of the shadow. Picture the ego as a spotlight in a dark room. It can only see what's illuminated, while everything else remains hidden in the shadows. Often, this shadow contains traits we've ignored, repressed, or deemed undesirable. These aren't just flaws, though. They hold parts of ourselves that, when understood, can actually guide us toward a fuller understanding of who we are. The secret to discovering your true purpose lies in merging these two sides. Instead of ignoring the shadow, you need to embrace it. It may sound counterintuitive, but acknowledging what you fear or dislike about yourself is the key to psychological growth. This, in turn, opens the door to a more authentic life. And speaking of authenticity, next, we'll explore why this shadow is so essential to your development. Jung believed that the shadow, the part of ourselves we tend to ignore, is essential for true self-development. It houses our repressed emotions, desires, and fears, all of which are critical to understanding who we really are. Without acknowledging the shadow, we only see a fragmented version of ourselves, which limits our potential for personal growth. Think of the shadow as a treasure chest buried deep within the unconscious mind. It's not easy to access, and it often holds uncomfortable truths, but inside, you'll find pieces of yourself you've long forgotten. These traits might feel unfamiliar or even unpleasant, but they also contain powerful insights into your strengths and life purpose. When you recognize the shadow, you stop living in denial. You start to accept the complexity of who you are, flaws and all. This step is crucial for anyone seeking psychological growth. The more you explore these hidden aspects, the closer you get to finding your true purpose in life. But as we uncover the shadow, we often notice something else, how we project it onto others. Let's dive into that next. One of the most fascinating aspects of Jungian philosophy is the idea that we often project our shadow onto others. The qualities we dislike or criticize in others can be a reflection of the parts of ourselves we refuse to acknowledge. This is why certain people or situations trigger us. They mirror our own unresolved issues. Imagine feeling annoyed by someone's arrogance or impatience. What if, deep down, that arrogance exists within you too, but you've pushed it into your unconscious mind? It's easier to see these traits in others because facing them in yourself can be uncomfortable. The irony is, the traits you despise in others might be the very ones you need to integrate to grow. Recognizing projection is a powerful step towards self-discovery. When you realize that these external annoyances are often internal reflections, you begin to understand yourself better. This is a crucial phase in the shadow work process. But the journey doesn't end here. Next comes the challenge of integrating these hidden traits to live a more authentic life. Let's explore how to do that in the following section. Integrating the shadow is one of the most transformative steps in Jungian philosophy. It's about accepting the traits we've repressed and making them part of our conscious selves. When we acknowledge these hidden aspects, we become more authentic and balanced. This integration process leads to profound psychological growth and brings us closer to our life's purpose. For example, if you've always suppressed your assertiveness, thinking it makes you too aggressive, you might find that embracing it helps you set healthier boundaries. It's not about letting the shadow control you. It's about understanding its role and using it wisely. This allows you to live more freely without the internal conflict of denying parts of yourself. By integrating your shadow, you begin to live a more complete life, where the inner and outer worlds align. It's not an easy journey, but it's essential for uncovering your true potential. Once you accept your whole self, flaws and all, you step onto the path of self-realization. And speaking of emotions, let's now take a closer look at the role feelings like anger and envy play in this process. Emotions like anger and envy often get a bad reputation, but Jung believed they could be powerful tools for self-discovery when used correctly. Instead of repressing these feelings, he encouraged understanding them. Anger, for example, can reveal unmet needs or boundaries that have been crossed. When recognized and managed, it becomes a catalyst for personal growth rather than a destructive force. Imagine you're angry because a co-worker didn't respect your input in a meeting. Instead of burying that anger, ask yourself why it bothers you. Maybe it touches on a deeper issue, like feeling undervalued. In this way, your emotions become clues leading you back to parts of yourself that need attention or healing. By acknowledging emotions like envy or anger, you turn them from obstacles into opportunities for growth. They can highlight areas of your life where you're holding back or where change is necessary. But emotions alone aren't enough. We must also take action on what we discover about ourselves, and that's exactly where we're headed next. Jung emphasized that self-realization isn't just about reflection, it's about action. Once you've explored your shadow and understood your deeper motivations, the next step is to live in alignment with this new understanding. It's not enough to simply know who you are. You have to act on it. This is where life takes on real meaning, and your purpose becomes clearer. Consider someone who discovers through shadow work that they've suppressed their creativity for years. Self-realization doesn't stop with that insight. It begins when they pick up a paintbrush, write a poem, or start a project. Taking action based on what you've learned about yourself is the bridge between inner discovery and outer fulfillment. This proactive approach brings a sense of wholeness to life. It's not just about pondering your potential, but stepping into it with confidence. And yet, many of us hesitate to take that leap because of fear or self-doubt. To truly discover the purpose of life, we need to adopt a proactive attitude. Let's dive into that next. Living reactively, always responding to life's challenges without taking initiative, can prevent you from finding your true purpose. Jung would argue that a proactive attitude is essential for psychological growth. Facing your fears, challenging yourself, and stepping out of your comfort zone are key to discovering your deeper potential. It's about actively shaping your life instead of letting life happen to you. For instance, think of someone who constantly avoids conflict. They react to difficult situations by staying silent, fearing confrontation. However, adopting a proactive mindset might involve them learning to assert themselves. Even when it feels uncomfortable, this isn't just about solving external problems. It's about taking charge of their personal development. By embracing a proactive attitude, you start to create the life you want rather than settling for what's given to you. It's a dynamic shift, and once you begin taking action based on your self-discovery, you unlock endless possibilities for growth. But remember, all of this starts with a deeper understanding of yourself, and that's where shadow work comes full circle. Now that you understand how crucial it is to embrace your shadow, the next step is up to you. Are you ready to confront the parts of yourself that you've been avoiding? True transformation requires action, not just reflection. The real question is, how much longer will you let fear or doubt hold you back from discovering your life's true purpose? Imagine the power of living authentically, no longer shackled by repressed emotions or hidden desires. What could you achieve if you fully embraced all aspects of yourself? Both light and dark, your potential is waiting, and it's time to unlock it. If you're serious about this journey, subscribe to the channel and activate notifications. Together, we'll continue exploring the depths of Jungian philosophy, and I'll guide you step by step toward uncovering your true purpose in life.